Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Ozzy here. Today we are covering Palantir Technologies, ticker symbol PLTR. Now, you probably heard about Palantir this week on the news as its shares went downhill after the earnings call. Now, we're going to go over the earnings call. I'm not going to give you all the numbers. I'm going to make this video as quick as possible, but I'm going to get right to the point and talk about what's the most important and what's really affecting the share price. And also, I'm going to share why I ended up buying into Palantir and why I continue to build my position with Palantir. Now, I'm going to go over the price action graph really quick, and I'm going to look into an article. I'm not going to read the whole article, I promise, and then I'm going to give my opinion on what is going on currently. Obviously, I do feel like I have to make that disclaimer that I did buy into this company, and I do own shares of Palantir currently. Yes, I bought the dip. So, before we get started, please subscribe to the channel. I make a video almost every day covering great companies. And also smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm so we can get this video out to as many people as we can. To start off with Palantir's price trend graph. So when you look at this is the 1 month graph. You can see that early in, when we started 2021, it was trading around the $25 range. And then it went up to $39 at one point, and then a little pullback to $31, again back up to $38. Then we had the earnings, and the earnings, we reported an amazing revenue growth. It was near 47%, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, year over year revenue growth, and it still went downhill just because the investors were not happy with earnings per share. Now, the other thing that came up with Palantir is the lockup period from its IPO expires this week. So what people expect is when that lockup period ends, there's going to be a big sell-off, which there may be, there may not be. People might hold. Obviously, there's going to be some people taking profits. There's going to be people holding on to Palantir. Palantir is expected to grow tremendously in the upcoming years. Why would people not hold on to it? But some of the big time investors came out saying that they are planning to exit out of their positions as well. So what happens with this? That lockup period actually ends on the 19th, which is this Friday, and it's when they're going to be available to to sell. And we're going to talk about how much shares are going to be available for sale starting tomorrow, and how that might affect the share price. But the thing is, when the lockup period ends, if you look at the other companies that went through the same thing, investors like you and I would get worried that there's going to be a big sell-off, which there might be. I'm not saying there is not going to be. Tomorrow, this thing might see lower $20. So you got to be mentally ready for that. So what happens is people get worried and they're like, might as well get out now. So it's going to fall down to 19. Let me sell off now. And then, maybe I'll pick it up when it's cheaper at $20 or $22 or whatever it may be. So that causes everybody to sell off, and which is what we're seeing here. Obviously, there's that negativity coming from the earnings report, and then we have that, and it's just putting a lot of sell pressure on this stock. Now we're gonna talk about that article that I mentioned. So here it says Palantir stock sank on Thursday as a lockup expiration allowed 80% of the company's shares to trade on the open market. Now it says Citi analyst Tyler Rott warned of a potential fall due to the lockup expiration in a note to clients in January. Now people were ready for it. So if you were an investor or you had shares in this and you saw something like this back in January, you were probably looking to exit when it was at $39, or this week after the earnings, you weren't, investors were not impressed with that earning report that came out. So what happens? You're like, the lockup period is about to end. Let me get out of this. I'll jump back in, or let me just get out of it and close my position. So that's kind of what happened. So to go over this really quick, we talked about the share price sinking today after a lockup expiration freed some 80% of the company's shares to trade on the open market. Now, I gotta be honest, 80% is a lot. The market is going to be flooded with Palantir shares, right? And Palantir had seen its share price more than triple since going public before a surprise earnings loss on Tuesday, hurting the momentum. Still, the company's stock was up roughly 180% over the last 6 months prior to Thursday's fall. Now, when we look at this, I also, if you were part of my Discord group or saw my last video, ARKMS actually picked up shares this week after the earnings call before the lockup period ended. And I'm going to put that video at the end of this just so you guys can hear what Kathy has to say about it and what she thinks of the future of this company. Now, obviously, we got Kathy Wood, CEO of ARKMS, who was a big Palantir supporter, and it says here in an interview with CNBC on Wednesday, Wood said Palantir's CEO Alex Karp was speaking our language in the quarterly conference call, and that the company's aggressive investments are the right path forward. Sacrificing near-term profitability for long-term growth is a net positive, according to Kathy Wood. And the CEO argued companies have not been spending enough on innovation and praised Palantir for its refreshing attitude. Now, I'm going to have you listen to that interview at the end of this video just so you have an understanding of what's going on, because what Kathy Wood said, I listened to the whole thing. What Kathy Wood is saying is Palantir is focusing on developing their platform currently and finding more customers, and they're going to be much more profitable down the road. And the exact words she used was, "That's like music to our ears." And which it is. If you're an investor, you're not thinking about tomorrow, you're thinking about long term. And we're talking about a company that posted crazy revenue growth. So here's another article. It says Palantir buy the dip. So if we go through the summary again, I want to go through this as quick as I can so I don't end up making like a 40-minute video. Palantir posted solid revenue but missed on earnings. The future forecast was a bit disappointing. And we're going to talk about that future forecast. It is just crazy. I think it mentions it in this article as well. Palantir is expecting 30% year-over-year revenue growth after posting 47% growth for 2020. Now, this company posted a 47% growth for 2020. That is just crazy. What other companies out there are posting numbers like that? Come on. And it's trying to expand, find more customers, find more people to use this platform. Of course, earnings per share is going to be a little low. And when we're talking about Palantir is expecting 30% year-over-year revenue in the future, and we're talking about how the future forecast is a little bit disappointing. Well, there are companies that post 18 to 20%, and we're like, they did awesome, they did amazing. But yeah, when we're talking about Palantir hitting 30% year-over-year, that's a little disappointing. So I think that's not a fair judgment of Palantir. And I do believe that, in the future, they are going to continue to grow. If a company is growing 30% year over year, are they going to be profitable down the road? Yeah, I believe so. I think so. And Palantir continues to grow its client base across multiple industries. Now, there was news released today that they actually picked up a new customer in the legal sector. So they are, if you know anything about Palantir, they're working with a lot of government agencies, different governments across the world. They're working with intelligence communities, and they also have commercial customers as well, but most of their business is coming from government businesses. And I'm going to give you one example of how what kind of data they work on. And it says here, Palantir's lockup period ends on February 19th. Obviously, we're expecting, some sort of price action tomorrow. Most likely, it's going to go south. Again, it's a buying opportunity for long-term investors, right? Palantir, they have two different softwares, right? They have the Gotham Gotham is a software program that identifies patterns hidden deep within datasets. This helps execute real-world responses to threats that have been identified within the platform. This was used in efforts to help those in need in Hurricane Florence in 2018. Palantir Gotham combined publicly available flood data with weather information and social vulnerability census data to find the communities in great need, and resources were deployed appropriately. Now, think about this. They're picking up data points here and there, and here you just set the data sets, and it tells you what communities need more resources. This is a great tool for the government. And they're obviously being utilized by multiple governments to provide the pandemic disease tracking, right? So there's a lot of ways this software is being utilized. They also have the Foundry, and the company also provides Palantir Foundry, a platform that transforms the ways organizations operate by creating a central operating system for their data and allows individual users to integrate and analyze the data they need in one place. And again, I think the technology they have is amazing, and I think that their technology sets them apart from a lot of the competition that they have, and which is why a lot of the U.S. government agencies are utilizing Palantir technology. Now, what is driving the company? Revenue. This is a growth play, plain and simple. Looking below, we can see the forecasted down the pipe. The missing block is 2020, which we found out was $1.1 billion. And again, which is a 47% increase year over year. Going forward, analysts are projecting the pace stays heavy at 35+% per year revenue growth. Often we consider 20% being strong. Again, what I was saying earlier. So that makes this look really good. The fourth quarter, the company posted $322.1 million in revenue for the quarter, which was a beat by 20%. Now, what I think about this company, right? Obviously, they do a lot of business with the government. They do provide, the CIA with data analytics and whatnot. And they're an outcast in the Silicon Valley because they have a lot of business with the government. But that's also where you get a lot of the money. Like they're working not only with the U.S. government, but they're working with a lot of governments across the world, and they're continuing to grow their customer base. When we talk about the CIA is their customer. The government over in the United Kingdom is their customer. Now they're trying to go into commercial sectors as well. Like I said, they picked up another customer today, or it was announced today in the legal sector. So they're picking up a lot of customers, and their revenue is expected to grow over 30% year over year going forward. I think Palantir trading at this price is a good pickup, and I definitely bought the dip. And whatever happens tomorrow with the lockup period ending, if it goes down to $20, why not buy more? And again, when you're going into this, you gotta have a plan. You can't just say I have $10,000 or $50,000 or $3,000 and I'm gonna buy it right at $25 a share. Start picking it up, start your position, and see where it goes day by day. If you need to average down, average down. If you need to average up, average up. But don't put all your money, $10,000. Here we go. And which is what I've kind of been doing. I bought this at $29, $28, $27. I think the biggest amount that I picked up so far was when it was trading at $28. And today I bought more at $25 a share. And tomorrow, if it goes down to $20 a share, I'm going to pick up more at $20 a share until I'm happy with the position that I have, because this is a long-term play for me, and I'm not looking at where this is going to trade next week. I'm looking at where this is going to trade in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the road. So that's what my opinion is on Palantir. Unfortunately, it's getting beat down by a lot of people, and them being very, very negative around this stock currently. That's, in my opinion, is a short-term negative sentiment. And I'm just trying to take sees the opportunity over here. So we'll see how tomorrow plays. And like I said, I do own shares in Palantir, so I'm not just talking about my opinion out of nowhere. I do have screenshots in our Discord group and our Patreon. If you're interested, definitely check that out in the description section. Aside from that, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Definitely subscribe to the channel, smash that like button. Thank you for being here, and have a great day.